Hi guys, so it's been a while since I've been on this channel. There is a main reason for that, I'm going to talk about that in the video. But the reason that I decided to come back is because recently I've been talking a lot about one particular handbag on social media because it just went on super sale at Very Exclusive. I don't know if it's still going to be available. I'll link it for you if it is, but it's this bag, which is from Alexander Wang. It's one of my most used bags. And I'm going to be doing more videos, I promise. I'm going to be doing more handbag videos very, very soon. But this is one of my most used of all time. It's one of the bags that I lusted after for the longest time and eventually purchased it on sale from Very Exclusive because they do this like biannual 30% off. Right now, or last week rather, they did 50% off. They must just be stopping stocking it because it's a classic style. I don't think it's discontinued. I think they must just be like no longer carrying Alexander Wang because it's the only thing there on the site. So it's 50% off and now it's like 70% off or something crazy. So if it's still available, I'll link it. But the reason that I kind of had in the forefront of my mind this channel was because I've been talking about that bag so often this week. People have been asking me for reviews. I've done some videos, which if I remember, I'll link below. And I just kind of remembered how much I enjoyed talking about this kind of stuff. So here I am, maybe to stay, we'll see. I know at the beginning of the year, I had planned to come back to this channel at least once a week. And then I kind of thought better of it. And the reason for that was not so much last year, I kind of weaned myself off it a little bit, but in previous years I had developed quite a habit and I was purchasing kind of more and more designer stuff. And it's not that it was like beyond my means. It's not like I was spending money I didn't have, but it was definitely money that could have been better spent elsewhere, whether it be on kind of tech and camera equipment and stuff for my YouTube channel and my blog, or kind of in the house, or just generally saving it. I was drawn to spending money on these high-priced items because of the videos that I was making, and so I was then watching, I was consuming all this content about designer stuff, and it becomes almost like an addiction. From the minute I bought my first handbag that was expensive, I wanted my next one. It was never enough. It wasn't just like, oh, I bought one and that's that. It really just kind of starts something in me. And I remember not so long ago having a friend who bought a Mulberry bag, and that at that time was like, oh my God, the most amazing thing in the world. Like, it was such a big deal. And I remember her telling me, oh, we went somewhere and she wanted to look in Mulberry and she wanted to look at the other bag. And I remember thinking, this is crazy. Like, she's mad. She's already spent all this money on this bag. Why does she need another one? I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. And I'm sure for lots of you watching this, and especially if you watch this kind of content all the time, you will realise it's the same with anything. You start buying something and you start, even if it's lipsticks, you can't just buy one. You have to, if you've got that kind of personality, it can become a little bit of an addiction. And it was kind of consuming me, not only my purchases, but what I wanted to watch. And then all I ever wanted to do was like browse new handbags. And it was definitely beyond my means to be buying one all the time. And so it was just kind of something that I didn't think was a good thing. And so last year, or maybe the year before, everything after a while just melts into one, doesn't it? I think it was last year, I bought myself one handbag that I wanted for a while for my birthday, which was right at the beginning of the year in February, and decided that I could have one bag a year. And I think that kind of works for me. I don't have the guilt. I would rather spend that money on holidays and doing things. And so that's kind of what happened. And so I had less content for this channel because I was buying less stuff. I also didn't want to get back into that cycle. And so it just kind of wasn't really working for me at that time. That being said, at the beginning of the year, I did say that I was going to do some wear and tear reviews and talk about kind of regrets and things like that. And I did kind of show you a little purse that I'd got last year that I was going to show you whether or not I got it repaired. I kind of let it all fall by the wayside, but part of it at least was because I didn't want to allow myself to get back into that cycle of being completely obsessed with all things designer. With that in mind, I thought I would share with you the not so designery bags, some are more expensive than others, but not so designery bags that I've picked up in the last 6 months to a year and I've been using a fair amount or not. The one that I'm using right now, and I've been wearing this for ages, like maybe 2 months I think I bought it. I've just not really wanted to swap out of this bag. Is this one. I think the brand is Parfois and it's from Debenhams in the UK. There is also a website. I think it's like maybe a Spanish company. I don't know, definitely outside of the UK but in Europe. I love this bag. It's got these little press studs at the side so you can make it larger, which I often do. It's partially suede and then the rest of it's like a faux leather, but what you kind of see on the outside is kind of a slightly nicer quality material. And then it's just huge. I mean, it's full of junk right now. But I've been wearing this loads because it's a really nice summer bag. It goes with some sandals that I just bought, and it's just worked for me. And I'm trying to remind myself that a handbag doesn't have to cost a lot of money for it to be nice. I used to be so excited about getting a new handbag. River Island used to be my jam until they started putting RI all over everything like they were a special brand. Once upon a time, they used to just make nice handbags and they were kind of nondescript. You didn't know where it was from. I don't really love the new trend for high street labels. You know, like when it says Topshop on a bag. I don't get it. But yeah, River Island not so much now, but I do miss that excitement of getting a new handbag. Oh, who was the other brand that I bought from last year that I really liked? Skinny Dip. Skinny Dips do some really exciting bags as well. Anyway, so this one I've been using a ton. This one, which is what I bought myself this year for my birthday because I thought I wanted to treat myself again, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money. And I bought this from Kurt Geiger. I have hardly worn it to the point where I think I'm just going to put it on eBay because it's getting ridiculous. It's been literally barely worn. It's practically brand new. I've probably worn it twice. And of course, this is like a faux jumbo. But it's not really my style. And I've realised now that there are certain handbags that you can kind of covet, designer handbags specifically, and you think, oh my god, you know, it's the amazing, you need that bag, and then if you get it, it probably is not going to live up to the expectations. And I realised that if I was to get the Chanel Jumbo of Dreams, it probably wouldn't end up being the Chanel Jumbo of Dreams to me. So yeah, I purchased this. It's, again, nice quality. It's nice leather, I mean, ish. It's soft, and it's a nice bag, but it's just not me. And I really don't like the chunkiness of this chain either. It's just, there's something about it. It's very kind of boxy. It's just not me. So I do regret purchasing that. But again, I was in my phase of trying to break myself of the designer habit. And then the other thing that I bought not so long ago, which is kind of mid-range. It's not really high designer, but it's kind of more attainable, and it's from Rebecca Minkoff. I've had tons of this style in the past, most of which I sold to fund something. Cannot remember what that was right now, but it's the Mini Mac. I've still got the Mac Daddy. I don't think she makes it anymore, or I don't think the brand makes it anymore, but this is the perfect size for kind of everyday essentials. You can wear it on your shoulder, you can wear it as a crossbody, you can kind of mess with these to make it shorter and longer as you want, but I find it perfect for crossbody. I love it so much. You can get tons and tons and tons of different colourways, and I have purchased this style of bag before secondhand, and they tend to wear quite well. Other ones not so much, but the Mini Mac, I think smaller bags do tend to wear pretty well, plus because it's quite flat, once you fill it out, even if the leather does wear, kind of just, it looks okay. An example of secondhand bags that don't wear so well, that have just put me off the brand almost completely, Mulberry. I've bought a lot of Mulberry handbags that I have been hugely disappointed by in the past. So they're just kind of some of the bags that I've purchased recently. 100% will be repurchasing a different one from Parfois. There's tons. Is it Parfois or Parfois? Please tell me. I think it must be Parfois. But there's loads and loads of different styles from that brand that I have my eye on right now. So I will be taking a look, and at some point I may do a reveal or an unboxing if I do purchase another one. But I wanted to just say hello, welcome myself back, if you will, explain a little bit of why I have not been so much on this channel, because I do feel like I was just kind of in, and maybe because I was in a bit of a bad headspace, and historically shopping has been my outlet. If I feel sad or down, it's almost an instant reaction to spend money, and I know that will make me feel better, which obviously is not the way to do things, but I know that about myself. I recognise that trait in myself, and so I kind of took a step back from it because I thought it was maybe feeding into something that wasn't so great in me. But I do miss talking about handbags and shoes and all that stuff, so I am going to be back with some more videos very, very soon. If you've got any particular requests, please leave them below. My hair is getting in the way. And thank you for those of you that kept subscribing, even though I didn't upload anything. Hopefully you stick with me, and I will see you guys very, very soon.